Hey everybody, what is up? Welcome back to Final Trade. Let's update our new Capenna collector box pre-sale data that we started taking last week. So I did the first video of this on Sunday. It's going to be right up there. And you can see we have 0 here on the horizontal axis is release date. That's why the blue line, Kamigawa, has data before and after the release date. The red line for new Capenna only has data to the left of the release date. And so I've added this last 1 week of data in here from about release minus 20 up to release minus 13, which is the last complete day of data we have yesterday, April 16th, 2022. So you can see there is this spike here in the last week, and someone very helpfully pointed out in the comments to the last video that that could have to do with spoilers coming out, particularly exciting things that make a lot of people all on the same day decide that they want to pre-order the product. I thought that was a really helpful thing, and it kind of strikes to something I talk about on this channel once in a while, which is it is not always obvious, which means there may be obvious things that you just don't recognize sometimes, like that. I didn't recognize, oh yeah, it's probably just spoilers. But there can also be times when things are obvious to you and not to other people, so it helps to just be explicit and explain things to people so that they all understand. So we have this 1 extra week of data. I updated these cumulative numbers. So these are what I talked about last week. So the first one here on the left is cumulative pre-order box numbers through R-20, which again was last week, April 9th, 2022. And back then, Kamigawa had a, decent lead, about 10% of a lead. But I pointed out, too, that Kamigawa pre-orders on TCG Player started 2 days earlier before launch than the new Capenna pre-orders started. So they had 59 days of pre-orders. New Capenna will only have 57. So I did an adjustment, which was I basically added 2 extra days at the most recent 7-day average box sales rate. And I said if new Capenna had had those 2 extra days, what would it have done potentially to the overall cumulative number of boxes sold? And it brought it up pretty even. I mean, this is close enough. This is 1% difference. So these are the updated numbers, R-13, the more recent data, and the raw data. Even on the raw data, new Capenna has pulled ahead. And when you do that same adjustment, it's pulled ahead pretty decently. Again, about 10% ahead, a little more than 10% ahead. So definitely more boxes being sold of new Capenna at this point in pre-release than Kamigawa had sold. So keep that in mind. Think about that. Potentially a lot of people who said, they saw the excitement, they saw the cards that were in Kamigawa. They might decide to go a little heavier on the pre-ordering, expecting to see the same kind of price action post-release that Kamigawa saw. So they may be getting in earlier. Let me know if you think there's some other theory for this. I'd be interested to hear it. So here's the 7-day moving average box price. Again, 7-day averages kind of smooth out bumps. They kind of smooth over the outliers in the data and just give us a better kind of idea. Now, you do necessarily lose some data in a 7-day moving average, but I'll show you the 7-day or the everyday number here in a minute. But you can see it's been pretty flat. And this is interesting. We're kind of in a period where stores that are a little more brave about pre-order or a little more foolhardy maybe have put product up for pre-order. And, there will come a time, and I don't know exactly when allocations are released from distributors and then stores know here's how many boxes I'm going to get. And they can feel much more confident putting them up for pre-order without burning their customers. And so when that happens, we may see this go down a bit to a little lower price. But keep in mind here, if we just click on some of these data, let's see, why is it scrolling sideways? So Kamigawa kind of bottomed out at this 209, 210 on the 7-day moving average. And new Capenna is only 214, 213. So you don't really have a lot to gain if you keep waiting, if you're expecting to be able to pre-order, and you're not going to gain a lot by putting it off at this point. Now, if you want to gamble that on release day, the flood of product hitting in LGSs and LGS is putting it online all over the country. Maybe LGSs who wait until release day to list things online. If you want to gamble that that's going to crash the price more, maybe you'll be right, maybe not. As they say, there's risk in any course of action. So hedging your bet by buying now or not buying now, both of them are risky. But just keep in mind, if it does anything like Kamigawa did, you really don't have many more dollars to save by waiting to order at this point. And then the last plot, these are the daily prices, so no 7-day averaging, no smoothing at all. So you see that the data are a little more bumpy, and you'd expect that. But again, it's a little lower than it was at this same point on Kamigawa. I really wish I knew what caused this bump on Kamigawa, what caused the prices to go up $10 or $15 for about 10 days and then come back down. So let me know what you think's going to happen with this. I'm interested to hear. I'm going to do this at least one more time. I'll do it again next Sunday with another week of data. If we go over and we look on TCG Player right now, 215, and there are a lot of sellers willing to fight each other down pennies at a time to be at the top of this list. 458 boxes, man, they're really confident in their allocation. And if we look over on eBay, several sellers at $199, again, free shipping everywhere. But if you're going to buy this, if you're going to pre-order, say 2, 3, 6 boxes, buy one from each of these, mitigate the risk that somebody's a scumbag and cancels your order when they see prices spiking at release. So same thing over here. If you're going to buy 4 or 5, just, pick the 4 cheapest and buy one from each in case one dealer turns out to maybe not have as much allocation as they thought. So let me know what you think is going to happen. Anything else you'd like to see on this? I'd like to keep doing this for further releases and try to get an idea of long-term trends of what happens with these box prices prior to release. I'm really interested in the collector boxes, so let me know what you think, any suggestions. Otherwise, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Join me on Final Trade. Thanks a lot, guys.